So today I'm going to make some kind of breakdown of one of my proudest videos ever, which is the amazing build, this right here. And basically I'm going to show like the project file and how I did some specific parts that you guys request on the comments every day. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I have the project loaded right now, this right here. If I select this right here, and no, this right here, this is like the core of the whole video. So everything below that and everything above that core it's actually not that important. Anyway, I'm going to show the whole project. Let me show. Okay, so basically all this is audio from the project, and all this part is video. So I can show you the whole project. I think I've never shown this part. This is it. Basically a lot of layers. It's 60 layers, so a lot of work and dedication, and yeah. I'm going to remove these marks, these orange marks, because they are going to be very distracting on this video. And I'm going to select only the areas you guys requested you wanted to learn. Okay, so I'm back. I chose like 12 points I wanted to explain. And before starting, I want to make a disclaimer that this video is kind of advanced, so I'm not going to focus on the basics of Sony Vegas. So I'm going to assume you already have some kind of knowledge on this software. So yeah, if you are not very familiar with Sony Vegas, this is going to be extremely confusing, and I don't recommend watching it. So because I changed my PC, and since I got this new one, all my upgrade, and I haven't installed like the fonts for my previous PC, so some parts actually look very fucked up, like this one. That's not the font I use, or the most noticeable one right here, like the subscribe. It's absolutely fucked up. So I'm sorry if it doesn't look exactly like the final product. Well, I could install all the fonts, but I'm not going to do it right now. Sorry. You can see right here. Okay, so my first mark. Of course, I'm going to skip all this. My first mark is going to be not a lot of people requested this, but I want to explain. When basically the TV makes a weird 3D turn to get into the infomercial, you can see right here, it's almost perfectly clean, like a very clean transition. And in advance, I want to say that in my VFX tab, I can't live without my precious Sapphire plugins. So yeah, if you don't have this Sapphire or whatever you call it, yeah, you won't be able to do a lot of this stuff I'm going to show. So yeah, you should get this because it's amazing product. Okay, let's begin right now. This shape Okay, I'm going to solo. Whenever I say solo something, I'm going to click this exclamation mark and it's going to show only this track. So yeah, I'm going to solo this track and I'm going to go frame by frame. You can see this weird 3D effect. Like it's on a weird angle. You can see like in diagonal, let's say, and it turns like an almost perfect rectangle. So if I turn the effect I used, which is S warp corner pin, you can see it goes back to normal. You can see it doesn't look as good. So if you enable, it has this nice little effect. So I'm not going to go into detail on how I did this. I can show you basically what the control inside the warp corner pin. So if you go top left and top right, the only two I used in this in this case, you can see if I move this joint, I'm going to call it a joint, you can see it moves like this. So very nice, very useful. Also, you can do whatever you want. Also, you can mess with the other corners if you want. In this case, I didn't even touch them. So yeah, this is very useful when you want to create a cool 3D effect. Okay, so I'm going to unsolo this one. I'm going to go to the next one. This is the infomercial. I mean, this is pretty basic stuff, not much to talk about. Right here, I wanted to show this nice transition between real life. You can see this is my old monitor from my old PC, and you can see it kind of blurs out, and there's a black space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames, and in the next frame you can see it's already a screen recording, so not real life. This is real life, this is not real life. Okay, so basically I try to recreate like the exact same position my screen was. You can see this is right here. All this white blurred out stuff is my screen, and right here this is the screen recording, and this is nothing. This is black, like pure black. So I just wanted to like highlight this part because I think good transitions can make the video. Like if a good transition really helps to make the video stand out. Like if I render, you can see it's a very clean transition. Okay, so basically I didn't use I didn't use the classic blur effect. I like to use one called defocus. It's kind of the same. The only difference is that it gives like this glow effect around the bright parts. You can see, I think with this one, yeah, it's this one. Yeah, don't mess around a lot with that. Oh my fucking god. Okay. So, yeah, in this part it's also blurred out, and I mean this is common knowledge for me, but something you have to keep in mind is trying to use more the built-in animation styles that Sony Vegas comes with. Like for example, this is, you can see on this square, this is the movement I made, but it looks kind of more smooth than usual. That's because if you right click this like frame, you can see a lot of options, and my favorites are linear, fast, and smooth. So basically fast, what makes the animation look like extremely fast at first, and it slows down with time. So yeah, that's pretty cool animation. Okay, I'm going to skip all this. This is, well, that's extremely easy to make. Well, not extremely, of course. If you wondered how I make these like fake websites, because it's not real, if you didn't know. So I basically make the image in a photo editor, and then I upload it to Imgur or whatever image host you like to use. And I basically, because the image is like 720p, 720p, what the fuck, no, 1080p, yeah, the image looks like it fills the website space like perfectly, so it actually looks like a real website. So yeah, it's not a real website, it's simply an image. Okay, I can skip all this basic. That's not, you can see there's barely anything on this layer, like 1 to 3 layers. Yeah, it's pretty simple. So I'm going to skip. Okay, this is when I open the pill, and this is one of the most requested ones. So basically, everyone wants to know how I made the pill glow, like this nice glow. And honestly, it looks amazing, and it's not that hard to make, so that's a nice advantage. Actually, I'm going to make it in this other shot, so it's more easy. Oh, okay. Okay, so you have your original video. You actually have to duplicate this video without the audio, of course. Oh my god. No. Okay. Yeah, you have your duplicate. I'm going to unsolo the one above it, so we only have our duplicate. You want to go to pan crop. I'm going to delete all this. You want to go to pan crop, and it's going to look like this. You have to actually check the mask tab. What I did is I created this weird egg shape, and I placed it on top of my pill. So actually, I did a very basic tracking with this pill. So if I go, let's say like 10 frames, you can see it moves a bit. So I have to correct the position, another 10 frames. I don't have to correct much, another 10 frames, I can correct it, another 10 frames, another 10 frames, and there we go. Okay, so if I render this part, you can see right here.
What the hell?
So we're almost finished. You basically go to color. I use color corrector secondary. You drag the effect, and with the rotation hue, you are going to change the colors to make that nice rainbow effect. So I'm just going to make it very basic right here and right here. Okay, if I render this, you can see the color changing.
What the hell?
Now this is not very useful. You actually have to turn on your main footage back again, so it makes sense. So if I turn it on, you can see right here we have our main footage. Maybe this helps you like visualize more the situation. This dark part is the original video, and this bright part is our modified rainbow pill. So you can see right here, because they are on top of each other, like exactly synced, there is no difference between the borders of our mask of the masked out part. So we're almost finished. This doesn't look so great, so I'm going to brighten this part again. You can see it doesn't look that nice with this border. So you actually have to go to mask, and on this part you are going to select. I like to choose both, and when you choose both, you are going to increase the feather percentage like this. Let's say 15, 18, 19%. It looks nice. So if we brighten this up again, you can barely see the border now. So we have this nice little peel. Okay, yeah. The reason it looks like this is because I didn't apply the feather to the whole video. So basically I have to do it. I'm going to show both 19. Both 19. You can see right here it's finished. You can barely see now the border of the mask. So we have this nice little rainbow effect.
What the hell?
Okay, so for the next part I chose... Okay, so this is when I swallow the pill right here, and I don't know why it has this... Oh, I know, yeah. Okay, so this part, I'm going to unswallow these parts so it looks back to normal, almost perfectly normal. So this is when the effect starts to kick in, and I want to share how did I made this like extremely amazing glitch effect that looks amazing in my opinion. So yeah, and the effect is applied to our source video right here, and the effect again from Sapphire plugin, it's called Tile Scramble. This is like extremely helpful if you want to get creative with your video. It looks amazing, and basically what this effect does, if you haven't guessed already, it scrambles your video in tiny parts or giant parts. That's up to you. You can modify whatever you want. Like for example here, I'm going to mess around with this one. You can see right here. I can mess with this one, and I can mess with this one. Okay, so yeah, you can see it looks pretty crazy and cool. So that's basically it. If you wondered, like right here, like all this code I used right here, it's just an image, like a Google search image. Just look out for code, Java code or something. You can look it up. You can see right here the movement I did, and I apply this nice green color effect with Technicolor tree strip. So yeah, it looks like this. Okay, all these sci-fi weird things, it's actually a YouTube video I found. You can see the titles right here, and I apply them to my video, and they look very nice, like very futuristic stuff. from movies and stuff. More code, more screen sci-fi animations, more code, an ADN, DNA GIF I found that looks cool. More GIFs, more animation, blah blah blah. These are GIFs, if you wonder it, nothing too fancy. These are GIFs I found online. And yeah, basically 2 hours later, and we fast forward to the part of where I grabbed the gun. So I'm not going to go into detail on this one because I already have a tutorial on this specific part. When I grabbed the gun from my very loyal instructor, it looks like this weird cool glitch effect. Like I said, I have a tutorial on this, on how to recreate this, so if you want to check it out, you can click right now on the annotation, I guess. Okay, so we fast forward to... okay, this is a very nice part, one of my favorite effects. Basically, when this guy is about to deploy, you can see I apply the tile scramble effect again, right here. And I apply the effect tile scramble yet again, right here. You can see right now. So, how did I actually make this part?
I'm fucking ready. I'm fucking ready.
Okay, so I'm going to solo these two, so we get rid of the background. So basically, you have to you are going to use your imagination in this one. I'm not going to show exactly what parameters I used to make it look like this, but I can give you a hint on how I made this. So basically, you have to get your image from here, here, yep, here, and you have to mask out. I masked out this whole part, my whole hand, and when I masked out, I applied the tile scramble effect. You can see right here, and yeah. So a very nice tip is that in the tile scramble effect, the value 0 on amount, it's going to be the original image. So if I click 0 right here, it's going to show my original image, my source image. So yeah, if you have to base around the 0 mark to actually make this effect, you can see from minus 1900, I don't know how to say that fucking number, okay? From minus 1000, it goes to minus 300, which is very close to 0. That's why it looks like this. If I go to the next image, you can see it goes from minus 200 to minus 100. So minus 100 is even more close to 0, so it looks almost like the final form. And this right here must be like minus 20 or something. Yeah, minus 20, and it's extremely close to 0, so it looks like this. Okay, we can go from this part. This mark, I wanted to share some information. So basically, you see these targets. Actually, I had to mask out my hand manually, so my hand looks in top of the targets. So if I turn off if I show you, no. Yeah, if I show you this, you can see this is a mask to make it look on top of it. So yeah, this is pretty interesting to watch. And if you combine, you can actually notice this layer of this weird mask thing has to be, of course, on top of my targets, which are right here. You can see target fix. All these are my targets, and this is the mask, which is on top of the targets. That's why my hand looks on top of the target. So I basically did this for, let's say, 45, like for 5 seconds, like this manual mask thing. You can see. I'm not going to render the whole thing, just some parts. Okay, so actually in the future I'm going to make a muzzle flash tutorial. Not very requested or anything, I just want to share my way of making the muzzle flash look like this, which in my opinion is the best muzzle flash technique, let's say. I don't like just putting an image or something. It looks so cheesy for me. So I actually have to add some other animations which I will like reveal, let's say, so in some other video. Okay, you can see in the muzzle flash there is the actual muzzle flash and there are sparks. I like sparks because, I don't know, it gives more realism in my opinion. And after that you can see the smoke. So yeah, a more detailed tutorial in the future. Okay, so this part, this is when I'm about to deploy. You can see this part. Oh yeah. I just want to clarify on this part the stuff I used to make it. So yeah, this is tile scramble on the original video. Right here. You can see it's actually right here. Yeah, this is the tile scramble. And right here you can see my hand kind of appears in a very different way, like a very impressive, let's say, way of spawning, like some kind of pixel glitch style. So it looks very nice in my opinion. You can see it right here. And it's actually the same thing we saw before. So if I solo this track, you can see my hand is flying around the whole screen and the value starts getting closer to 0, like I explained earlier. You can see my hand is practically generated at this point, and if I go one more frame, it's absolutely done. So yeah, you can see the effect, tile scramble again, and it goes from 700 to 0.051, so very close to 0, and this is 0. This is already 0. So, like I said, very close. A value close to 0 means it's like the original source. So yeah. Yeah, this is actually, if I recall, I don't know if this is an image or something. I think... No, this is a video, yeah. So I actually had to... Yeah, I didn't actually remember this part. I actually had to mask out my hand, by hand. You can see right here, my hand is masked. Plus the tile scramble effect, and it gives this nice result. You can see. I'm going to show like 2 times. You can see right here. And if I combine this with the original, very original video, you can see the final result. So yeah, that's basically it. Okay, next part. Okay, this is the one of the most time consuming parts of the video. Pretty annoying to make, to be honest. You can see the enemies are almost perfectly tracked to the real life, let's say, and I shoot them. So if you didn't guess already, you can see like 3 things we already covered on this video. You can see tile scramble. You can see I masked out my hand to make it look on top of the enemy. I think if I find the file, you can see, yeah, this was absolutely insane to make. Like, check out all these masks I had to make to make it look on top of it. So yeah, this is a lot of frames. This is a lot of time spent. So yeah, basically the enemy is some kind of stock footage, if you want to call it. I found online. I luckily found online, which helped me a lot to make this video. So basically, you can see right here if I solo this. This is the enemy tracked. So yeah, if I go to the pan crop, you can see all the frames I modified to make it look almost perfectly tracked. I say almost because this is done by hand, so it's far away from perfect. So yeah, this is the track. And I'm not going to go with each one because it's exactly the same process for each one. You can see right here. Like, you can say, what the fuck is this? Like, why is this guy flying around? Well, if you actually show the original source, you can see it looks like it's tracked on the video. Right there. So yeah, I have this for every single enemy. This one was one of the hardest one, because it's a lot of frames. You can see all the frames right here. Single frame. And this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Yeah, that's it. And even more insane, in my opinion, it's my hand track. I can find it. I mean, yeah, in my opinion, I didn't have to mask out every single enemy, but I don't know, it was just so annoying to mask these parts. You can see. So yeah, very like extreme stuff, time consuming, you have no idea. Okay, so I'm going to show, oh yeah, I wanted to share the nice little effect when you can see it's all like laggy and stuff. Like, this layer is showing like 15 layers of stuff, so it's extremely oversaturated, so it's very hard to load this unless you have a NASA CPU. So yeah. Okay, this muzzle flash, you can see this like kind of 3D sci-fi effect right here. So basically I added it's called radial blur, I think, and with this effect. Yeah, it's called S warp chroma. So basically this, I'm going to copy this value. You can see right here. Okay, it's pretty messed up. You get the idea. So I think I actually didn't use radial blur because this effect already has it. So yeah, this is basically the effect I used for the gunshots. You can see the gunshot. Every single one of these frames is a gunshot. You can see value 1, which means 0, and 0 effect, and then it goes to value 900, and then it fades out to value 0 again. So it gives this nice effect. Okay. This part I wanted on. This is a very quick part. This is basically to show what I do to make it look kind of more cinematic, if you will. I don't know how to explain besides suspense. So basically what I do is increase the vignette radius from here to here. You can see the vignette is this black thing, so it increases. I also did that effect previously, like here you can see right now, like there's more suspense as the camera gets closer to this big button. So as it gets closer, you can see the vignette increases. This is the vignette. From value 1000 it goes to value 700 using the S vignette from Sapphire plugin. So yeah, okay, this last part I wanted to share when I smoke weed. Basically, if you wondered how I make this wave effect, it's extremely simple. You can mess around with the settings. I basically use the built-in effect called wave. This is from Sony. It comes with Sony Vegas, and I messed around with the effect. You can see value almost 0. It goes to value 7,007 and 3.4. You can see, and this creates this nice effect. So you can see I actually only messed around with horizontal waves and horizontal phase because I wanted only the effect to be applied horizontally. So yeah, this when Snoop Dogg appears, it's just basic tracking. I can show, this is all the frames from Snoop Dogg. And the last part, almost the end, basically the end actually. So well, if you didn't guess already, I did the exact same thing I did for the pill. So if I'm going to render, I'm going to show like the final result. It gives like this nice changing color effect. Yeah, and I'm going to solo these two tracks. So I'm not going to explain like again the whole process. Just watch the part when I make the pill glow, different colors, and it's exactly the same process. Like this. I had to mask out every frame of the rectangle from the glasses. You can see right here. This was also not very time consuming, but kind of tricky. All these frames is a mask frame for the glasses. You can see right here. Same goes with the other lens. So you have two lenses, and each one is changing color with a color corrector right here. You can see this little joint is going to rotate, kind of. Okay, it's not rotating. Oh no, I use HSL adjust. So yeah, you change the add to hue rotation thing, and you can see it goes back and forth to create the rainbow effect. So yeah, that's basically it. And I did this video because I wanted to share a ton of things. I hope I didn't miss out something important. And actually, when I asked on Twitter what you guys wanted to see, MLG Antivirus got more votes. So maybe in a few days I can make the MLG Antivirus breakdown. So based on the feedback I get from this video, maybe I make it or maybe not. So let me know if this is useful, if you were curious to know the effects from this video. And I hope it's not extremely boring, even if you are interested in video editing. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed and see you on the next one.